हेलो स्टूडेंट्स, वेलकम टू माय चैनल ओमनी ज्ञान। मेरे चैनल ओमनी ज्ञान में आप सब लोगों का फिर से बहुत बहुत स्वागत है। So today we are going to learn the poem Trees, okay, which is there in the class 10 syllabus. And let me remind you once again to all the students that MBOSE has now changed the syllabus. Some of the lessons have been removed from your textbooks, okay, but trees are there, okay, the trees are there by Adrienne. This poem is there, and I'm going to make here a line by line explanation. And if you want to know which topics have been removed, I have made a video on that. You can check out that video for class 9 and 10 as well कि कौन-कौन से lessons removed किए गए हैं. Okay, I have made a video on that. Okay, so I'm going to make here a line by line explanation because students want a line by line explanation actually. So without further delay, let us start our explanation. So we are going to learn the first stanza, but before starting the explanation for the first stanza, let me give you the introduction of the poem The Trees. Okay, the Trees poem actually highlight feminism. Okay, the Trees poem actually highlight feminism, or we can say women empowerment, that women are stagnant in their houses. They are not allowed to go outside. They are under a bondage. Okay, वो बिल्कुल जो है वो बंधे हुए हैं, एक बॉन्डेड लेबर के जैसे वो घर पे रहते हैं. They do not have any permission to go outside. So the trees actually represent the woman. तो यहाँ पे trees को represent किया जाएगा women की तरह. Okay, so we will see here as we move on. We will learn more about it. So this is the first stanza. You can read this out. Okay, the trees inside are moving out into the forest that was empty all these days, where no bird could sit, no insect hide, no sun bury its feet in shadow. The forest that was empty all these nights will be full of trees by morning. तो इसकी explanation क्या है? What is the explanation of the first stanza? Let us see the explanation, and let me tell you again, I have made a line by line explanation. Okay, the poet says that trees are leaving the houses and going into the forest. So it's very easy line. Okay, the poet is saying here, now poet herself is a female. Okay, so the poet is saying that the trees that are outside or inside her house, we have domestic plants also that we put inside our house, and there are plants that we put outside our house. Okay, so the poet actually is sitting, and the poet can watch that the trees are slowly leaving the houses. And where are they going? They are going into the forest. तो वो जंगल की तरफ जा रहे हैं. तो पोइट ये सब घर पे बैठ के देख रही है कि उसके घर का जितना भी पेड़ पौधा है सब जो है धीरे धीरे करके घर छोड़ के बाहर जा रहे हैं, जंगल की तरफ जा रहे हैं. ओके, व्हाई? द पोइट सेज दैट द फॉरेस्ट हैज बीन एम्प्टी फॉर मेनी डेज. बिकॉज जो फॉरेस्ट है, वी नो दैट फॉरेस्ट मीन्स many trees are there. That is why we call it a forest. Thousands and hundreds and thousands of trees make a forest, right? So the forest is empty. So the forest है, it is it has become a deserted land, a barren land. You see, so these trees are moving out so that they can form this deserted area into a forest, ताकि ये deserted area एक forest में फिर से convert हो जाए, क्योंकि ये forest पूरा खाली है. एक टाइम था जब ये फॉरेस्ट जो था वो भरा हुआ था. टाइम वाज देयर व्हेन द फॉरेस्ट वाज फुल, बट नाउ द फॉरेस्ट इज एम्प्टी. सो द ट्रीज आर मूविंग आउट एंड दे आर गोइंग टू द फॉरेस्ट टू मेक दिस डेजर्टेड प्लेस टर्न इनटू अ फॉरेस्ट नाउ. ओके, सो ये फॉरेस्ट बहुत दिन से खाली था, एंड बिकॉज द फॉरेस्ट वाज एम्प्टी, क्योंकि ये जंगल खाली था, द बर्ड्स डिड नॉट हैव any trees to sit on. The birds have no trees to sit on, and insects have no shelter. So we know that in a forest we find wild animals. Wild animal का natural habitat is forest, right? The natural habitat for wild animals is forest. Now because this forest is empty, that is why birds do not have any trees where they can sit on. Animals have become extinct because there is no forest. Okay, insects have no shelter. जो छोटे छोटे जो कीड़े होते हैं, इंसेक्ट्स होते हैं, उनका भी कोई शेल्टर नहीं है क्योंकि वो पूरा डेजर्टेड लैंड है, राइट? सो दिस इज द प्रॉब्लम, एंड दैट हैज हैपेंड बिकॉज द फॉरेस्ट इज एम्प्टी. फिर sunlight cannot form shadows. Now how will sunlight form shadows? Sunlight penetrates its sun rays through the trees, right or wrong? Say these are trees, okay, or this is a tree, and there is a sun. Okay, now in between the gaps, all right, the sun will throw its rays and then shadow will fall on the ground somewhere. Patches of sunlight will also be there, right? Now this is not there. Why? Because sunlight cannot form shadows because there are no trees. क्योंकि पेड़ पौधे नहीं है, बड़ा पेड़ नहीं, इसलिए सन जो है अपना शैडो नहीं छोड़ सकता, अपना धूप नहीं छोड़ सकता. ठीक है. So thus, by tomorrow morning, that means by the next morning, the forest that was empty will be full of trees. So obviously, we can say now that the poet is saying actually that because the trees are leaving tonight, रात को सारे पेड़ पौधे घर छोड़ के जा रहे हैं, they are all leaving the house. So definitely they are going to the forest. So by tomorrow morning, when all the trees will go to that forest area, will go to that deserted, empty area, definitely by tomorrow morning it will be full of trees. Okay, पूरा जो है वो deserted area पूरा जंगल में बदल जाएगा by tomorrow morning. So this is the explanation of the first stanza. Very easy. Now we come to the second stanza. All night the roots work to disengage themselves from the cracks. Now see students, when I'm doing the explanation, you keep the book in front of you, all right, so that you can relate my explanation to the book. Okay, so to disengage themselves from the cracks in the veranda floor, the leaves strain towards the glass, small twigs stiff with exertion, long cramped boughs shuffling under the roof like newly discharged patients, half dazed moving to the clinic doors. अब इसका मीनिंग क्या है? What is the meaning of this? Now explanation. The poet talks about how plants struggle to reach the forest. Okay, so here in the first line of the second stanza you can see that all night the roots work. That means the roots are struggling. जो पेड़ के जो जड़े है, the roots of the plants, okay, see they are fixed under the inside that soil, right? Soil के अंदर जो है roots पूरा fixed हो चुका है and it has become very hard also. So the trees all night the trees, the plants are struggling so that they can pull their roots out. Now roots you can consider just as legs, right? Roots you can consider just as legs. तो ये जो roots है इसे आप legs की तरह, अगर ये मिट्टी है, this is the soil, land, okay, and under the land, under the soil you have the roots. So roots आप legs की तरह ले सकते हैं. तो all night the trees are struggling so that they can pull out their legs, pull out the roots out of the soil. तो यही है उसका मीनिंग कि the poet talks about how plants struggle to reach the forest. They struggle, the roots work all night to free themselves from the veranda floor cracks. Now you see some plants, some trees, some plants you have seen, what happens is that some are fixed on soil and some are planted on cemented soil. मतलब plant करने के बाद after planting the trees or the saplings, what happens is that जो ओनर होता है ना, वो उसको क्या करता है, सीमेंट एरिया से कवर कर देता है, उसको हार्ड बना देता है सीमेंट से, राइट? सो यू कैन इमेजिन द soil has become very strong now, so the roots are working all night to free themselves. The roots are struggling all night to free themselves from the veranda floor cracks. तो veranda में जो फ्लोर के ऊपर जो क्रैक्स हुआ है ना, वहां से जो है फ्रॉम देयर द ट्रीज, द रूट्स ऑफ द ट्रीज आर ट्राइंग टू फ्री देमसेल्व्स. ठीक है, फिर देखते हैं. The leaves try hard to reach the glass window so that they can go out. Some trees are also inside the house. Some plants, trees मतलब some plants are also inside the house. ठीक है, कुछ जो डोमेस्टिक प्लांट्स होते हैं जो घर के अंदर लगाया जाता है, right? To the leaves, the root, the stem, all try hard so that they can break the glass of the window and go out. क्योंकि दरवाजा बहुत स्ट्रॉन्ग है, because the door is very hard, that is why it is difficult to break the door. तो कुछ पेड़ जो है, some plants which are strong, okay, they try to reach the window glass so that they can break the glass and escape outside the window, ताकि वो खिड़की से बाहर भाग सके. ठीक है. Then the small stems, अब कुछ पेड़ होते हैं जो छोटे होते हैं, some plants are very small, so the small stems put in a lot of effort to break free. अब those plants which are little strong, it is little easy for them also to free their roots from the soil. But some stems, some roots which are weak, some plants which are small, they have to put double, triple more effort to break free, to get free, to get their roots free from the floor cracks, to get the roots free, to get the stems free from the soil, okay, because they are small in size, that is why they do not have enough strength in their body. बहुत ज्यादा शक्ति उनके बॉडी में है नहीं, तो उनको एक्स्ट्रा एफर्ट लगाना पड़ रहा है, एक्स्ट्रा हार्ड वर्क करना पड़ रहा है उसको. उनको, ठीक है। नाउ द बिग ब्रांचेस ऑल्सो स्ट्रगल टू एस्केप थ्रू द रूफ। अब कुछ कुछ पेड़ जो है थोड़े से बड़े हैं, सम प्लांट्स आर लिटिल बिगर इन साइज, ओके। नाउ दे कैन नॉट एस्केप आउट ऑफ द विंडो, सो दे स्ट्रगल टू एस्केप थ्रू द रूफ। तो छत के ऊपर से सीलिंग तोड़ के, ब्रेकिंग द सीलिंग और ब्रेकिंग द रूफ, दे आर ट्राइंग टू मूव आउट। सीलिंग तोड़ के, रूफ तोड़ के वो लोग जो है ऊपर से निकलने की कोशिश कर रहे हैं। सम आर ट्राइंग टू ब्रेक द विंडोज, ग्लास विंडोज एंड रन एस्केप। सम बिग ब्रांचेस आल्सो स्ट्रगल, but they struggle to escape through the roof. Okay, now they have been compared to a patient. Okay, in the last two lines, if you see, these trees have been compared to a patient actually, or has been compared to patients, plural, patients who has just been released from the hospital. Now you can imagine the pain of the trees. आप लोग easily जो है guess कर सकते हैं कि how painful it is that when trees are trying to uproot themselves, जब पेड़ पौधे जो uproot करने की कोशिश कर रहे हैं, right, they're trying to uproot themselves from the soil, so they become very tired. And you see, for a long time, see, the basic thing is that we plant trees at home, but have we ever asked them? Now, I know that you cannot ask trees, plants, because they will never be able to reply back. But have you ever taken their permission? If I put it in that way, have you even taken their permission that would you like to be? In a way, we have kidnapped the plants and forcefully put it in our houses. This is what is meant. And they feel like, as if their roots have been inside the earth, inside the soil for a long time, so they have become very weak. तो ये पेड़ जो है बहुत वीक हो गया है, just like a patient. And these patients have now been released from the hospital. So because the trees are running away from the house, it means that they have forcefully taken release from the hospital. Up you go to the hospital, the doctor does not want you to leave, but you want a better treatment, you want to go outside to some big hospital and take a treatment, but the doctor does not want to leave you. So what will you do? You will ultimately have to run away from the hospital, right or wrong? जबरदस्ती आपको रिलीज लेना पड़ेगा हॉस्पिटल से, डॉक्टर को धमका के, nurses को धमका के, you have to take, or your parents or any big member will have to forcefully get you released from the hospital, right? So this is the same thing is happening here also, that without the permission of the trees, they have been planted inside the house and outside the house also. Now after a long time, their roots are under the soil, under the earth, and after long time they struggle to move out. They have become very weak like a patient, so now they have forcefully taken, just as a patient takes release from the hospital. ठीक है? All right, let us see here. So the patient, now who are the patient? The trees have been considered as patient here, okay? Now they are in a hurry to leave, even though he means the trees actually, so it should be they in a way, okay? Even though they are confused and weak. So the patient actually, the trees actually, they are confused. Why? Because after long time, they are trying to be free, है ना, फ्रॉम दिस किडनैपिंग थिंग, फ्रॉम द बॉन्डेज थिंग, दे आर ट्राइंग टू बी फ्री नाउ. वो अभी बॉन्डेज से फ्रीडम की जर्नी ले रहे हैं. दे आर अंडरटेकिंग द जर्नी फ्रॉम बॉन्डेज टू फ्रीडम. सो दे आर कंफ्यूज दैट वेयर वी शुड गो, in which place we should go. We have all taken a big risk. So risk के वजह से ये confusion हुआ है. Because of the risk, the confusion has occurred, and they are weak also because since a long time, they have been under the bondage, तो वो वीक भी हो चुके, but they are adamant, they are adamant that we must leave, so they are all in a hurry to leave, otherwise they will be again kidnapped back by the owner. So trees को ये लगता है कि हमें फिर से किडनैप किया जा सकता है, इसलिए हम लोग यहाँ से जितना जल्दी हो सके हम लोग यहाँ से भाग चलते हैं. ठीक है? आई होप यू अंडरस्टूड दिस थिंग. Okay, let's move on. This means that after a lot of struggle, इसी का meaning है ये. This is the meaning. Okay, this means that after a lot of struggle to escape, the trees have become very weak, just like patients. बिल्कुल एक patient की तरह या patients की तरह ये trees भी बहुत weak हो चुके हैं. After a lot of struggle to escape, uprooting themselves from the earth, breaking the window glasses and going outside. Some are trying to run from the roof. So they have become very tired and weak, just like patients, okay? That is why they cannot walk properly. While trying to run, they fall. again they stand up, again they try to run. Okay, so they cannot walk properly, just like patients only. Okay, अब आगे बढ़ते हम लोग थर्ड स्टैंजा पे आते हैं हम लोग. लेट्स कम टू द थर्ड स्टैंजा. Third stanza is I sit inside, doors open to the veranda, writing long letters. Here I refers to whom? I refers to the poet Adrienne Rich. Because I told you in the beginning only that Adrienne Rich is watching everything. जो पेड़ घर छोड़ के भाग रहे हैं, Adrienne Rich is watching everything and she is silent. And somewhere she is relating the running of the trees to women actually who are also trapped inside the houses. Okay, writing long letters in which I scarcely mention the departure of the forest from the house. The night is fresh, the whole moon shines in a sky still open. The smell of leaves and lichen still reaches like a voice into the rooms. इसकी explanation हम लोग देखते हैं. Let us see the explanation. Now the poet is sitting on her veranda and writing long letters. So what is the poet doing? If it is asked in the exam, the poet is sitting on her veranda and what is she doing? She is writing long letters. But in that letter, she does not write anything about the trees leaving her house. लेकिन उस लेटर में पोएट ये नहीं लिखती है कि पेड़ जो है मेरा घर छोड़ के जा रहा है. नो, शी डज नॉट राइट बिकॉज she understands the importance of freedom. That is why she did not write anything about the trees leaving her house. Or maybe one sentence she wrote, but that too not indicating that the trees have run away. She makes sure that she does not mention anything about the trees running away, anything about the trees leaving her house. Then the poet goes on to say that the night is very clear and she can see the full moon shining. So outside, moon is shining very brightly. It is a full moon, and that is why the night is very clear, and she can actually see the full moon shining. Okay, and then she can also get the smell of leaves and lichens feel like a voice, as if it seems that this voice, the sound of leaves, sound and smell of leaves, and the sound of the voice of lichens seems to be shouting and wanting freedom from the house. Now, we know trees cannot speak. Okay, they cannot speak. Can lichens speak? Lichens are type of insects. Can they speak? No, they also cannot speak. But let me tell you is that, when we try to bring about human qualities in non-living things, I have explained poetic device. You please watch that video. Now, because you see, the poet is trying to say that she has put human qualities in non-living things like leaves and lichens so that we feel that pain. Okay, so it seems that the leaves and the lichens are shouting and they want freedom from the house, and that is why, because she can hear those things very clearly, she can hear the voices, she can hear the shouting and wanting of freedom by the trees. That is why she does not mention anything about the running away of the trees in her letter. अपने लेटर में वो ये सब नहीं लिखती है क्योंकि पोएट को फील हुआ that the trees are in pain, so let them run away. Let them run away and let them get freedom. I'm not going to mention anything about their running away. Okay, so this is a very sensitive thing, and we must also feel these things actually. You see, often we keep pets at home. Okay, but you see, when we keep a pet at home, we are separating that pet. If it is a baby pet, we are actually separating the pet from the mother. Right or wrong, that pet must also have a mother, so we separate the pet from the mother. Similarly, when we plant trees, according to the poet, we are doing so, when we are planting trees, we are doing so without the permission of the trees. Plants are to be there in the forest, which is their natural home. Animals should be in the forest, which is their natural home. That is why, I think many of you know that there is a ban on the selling of many birds. बहुत सारे बर्ड्स के ऊपर बैन किया है गवर्नमेंट ने, बिकॉज देयर नेचुरल हैबिटेट, देयर नेचुरल होम इज द फॉरेस्ट, नॉट आवर होम्स. है ना. आपको अगर कोई जबरदस्ती अपने घर पे रख ले तो हमें कैसा फील होगा? हाउ वुड वी फील इफ समवन किडनैप्स अस एंड फोर्सफुली कीप्स अस इनसाइड देयर हाउस? right? We won't feel good. We will miss our family. So in the same manner, these animals, these trees actually miss their homes. Okay, this is what the poet means to say, a very emotional poem. We'll move on to the fourth stanza, which is the last stanza actually. My head is full of whispers, which tomorrow will be silent. Listen, the glass is breaking, the trees are stumbling forward into the night, winds rush to meet them. The moon is broken like a mirror, its pieces flash now in the crown of the tallest oak. इसका explanation हम लोग देखते हैं आगे. Explanation is what? The trees want to move out and their slow sounds fill her head. So the first line here it says, my head is full of whispers. Whose whispers? The whispers of the trees. The trees are whispering one another, let us run, come on, let us run fast. Otherwise, our owner will see us. But the poet can listen to this, and the poet is silent. Okay, and tonight maybe the poet is not feeling good because the trees are running away, because for a long time she has kept those plants and trees in her house. Now she also feels little bad, but she knows that today I am sad, but tomorrow I will be okay, I will be silent, and my entire house will be silent because the trees will already have moved out of my house. तो यहीं पे हम लोग देखते हैं. So but these sounds will disappear by the next day. So tomorrow morning, now all the sounds of the trees moving out, the trees whispering one another, let us run away, let us run away, all these sounds she can hear. But tomorrow when the trees will be away from her house, these sounds will also disappear tomorrow morning, right? The poet tells the reader to listen carefully because a change is coming. Now, this change is actually related to feminism, actually. A change is coming. See, at one point of time, women were not allowed to go out of the house, women were not allowed to go to schools, women were not allowed to go and worship in the religious places. But now, this change is coming. Women become prime minister, women become chief minister, women become CEO of a company. Okay, women become president of a nation. Okay, so this change is coming. So through the trees, actually, the poet wants the readers to feel this thing, that change is coming. Okay, then now she hears the glass window breaking because the trees are breaking the window in trying to run away, and as the trees move out into the night. So trees जो है वो window glass break करके बाहर जा रहे हैं. The poet can hear the glasses breaking, okay, because the trees are moving out, but she is not doing anything. She could have easily gone and caught the trees. वो पोएट जो है इजीली जाके उन पेड़ों को जो है पकड़ के फिर से घर के अंदर ला सकती, बट शी इज नॉट डूइंग दैट बिकॉज शी फील्स दैट जस्ट लाइक अ वुमन, trees also should get freedom. It is their right. वो उनका right है कि उनको freedom मिलना चाहिए. It is their right that they should get freedom. All right. Then the wind is blowing outside and meets the trees. The wind is also happy. In one way, the wind welcomes the trees. All right, because you see, when the wind blows, the trees will sway from left to right, right or wrong. So the wind in a way is greeting, is welcoming the trees, that welcome my children, welcome. Okay, I was missing you so much. Then the moon looks like a mirror broken into pieces. अभी ये क्यों हो रहा है? Why it happens? The shadow of the oak tree splits the moon into many fragments. अब इसका मीनिंग क्या है? Say this is a tree. This is a tree. Okay, I'm just drawing like that only. This is a tree, and the moon is shining. So what happens is that there are gaps in between the leaves, in between the branches. There are gaps, right? So through the gaps, if you see the moon, it will look like broken only. It will look like as if it has been broken into pieces because you are looking through the gaps of these branches and the leaves. So that is why if you see from here through the gaps of the branches, so through the gaps of the leaves, you will see the moon as a broken mirror that has been broken into many fragments. So this is the meaning. Okay, that means the trees are already settling in the forest. तो पेड़ जो है घर के बाहर निकल चुका है और वो जाके एक एक करके वन बाय वन दे आर गोइंग एंड सेटलिंग इन द फॉरेस्ट. एक एक करके सारे ट्रीज दे आर सेटलिंग इन द फॉरेस्ट. द फॉरेस्ट इज गोइंग टू बिकम फुल बाय टुमारो मॉर्निंग, right? So that is why now the moon looks like a broken mirror. Now, after the poem has ended, I hope you have understood the summary of the poem very nicely. I have tried to explain in very simple and easy language You can see the writings on the screens. You can use it in your exam. Now, what is the theme and analysis? What is the theme of the poem? And let us do an analysis of the poem. So the poem The Trees by Adrienne uses trees as a metaphor for women. Now, what is metaphor? When you put human qualities in non-living things, it is a metaphor. I have made a video on poetic device. If you just go and search poetic device by Omni Gyan, please type by Omni Gyan. Don't just write poetic devices. Otherwise, you'll get a lot of videos. Okay. So if you go and type poetic devices by Omni Gyan, then you will get my videos. I've explained metaphor there. So here the poet uses trees as a metaphor. The poet compares trees with women. Poet जो है trees को women के साथ compare कर रही है. And the poet herself is a feminist. She is a female. She is a feminist. And she talks about how women want freedom. The poet यही बताने की कोशिश कर रही है through the trees. Through the trees, the poet is trying to explain all of us that just like the trees, we women also we want freedom. We don't want to be trapped inside the houses. Allow us to be free, and if you don't allow us, then we will run away and try to be free on our own. All right, so the trees in the poem want to escape from the house and go into the open forest. Open forest here is to do whatever we like. If men can do whatever they like, women also should have the freedom to do whatever they like, right? Generally in our society we don't let women, actually our society is you know uh, male dominated society till now, till date. It is a male dominated society, है ना? Male dominated society. So in this male dominated society, females have very less rights. बहुत ही कम अधिकार उनको है चीजें करने के लिए. So if men can enjoy these rights, then women must also have the rights to enjoy, right? Okay, so here the trees in the poem want to escape. So the female also inside the houses want to escape from the traps, and they want to go into the open forest. So the women also want to go to open fields and compete with men and try to excel. So it is all our duty to give equal opportunity. Even our constitution speaks of equal opportunities, right? So equal opportunities should be given to women also because they deserve. We should not feel pity. Oh, she's a woman, she's a lady, she's a girl, she does not have physical strength and all. No, in every field, women is excelling now. Sports, business, cricket, um, you know, uh, film, music, whatever field you talk about, women, they are excelling in every field. Okay, so what they need is just an opportunity, a chance, and that is their right. We are not doing any. देखिए हम उन पे कोई ये नहीं कर रहे. We are not. We should not take them for granted. चलो उनको मौका दे दे. No, they deserve it. So we must understand that women deserve, and because they deserve, they should have the equal rights, just as we men have. Okay, so remember this thing. So these women, they feel trapped inside just like women in a society. तो जैसे trees जो है घर के अंदर trap हो चुका है, women also feel trapped in this society, in this male dominated society. And the poet Adrienne can actually feel and hear the emotions of the trees. So in a way, the poet can feel and hear the emotions of the women also. So we all, as responsible citizens of this nation, we also should feel and hear the emotions of the woman, and not let them and not keep them trapped inside. Let them go into the open and show their talents. All have immense talents. Okay, this is what the poet is saying in the poem. So I hope you have understood the poem. I hope you have understood the theme and the analysis. And if there is any doubt and confusion, you can definitely comment in the comment section, and I will bring more such videos. 2 more videos are already ready. Tea from Assam is ready, and from any Gregory poem is ready. Okay, I'll bring in a couple of days. I'll bring those explanations also for class 10. Okay, so that's all from me for today. Thank you so much for watching my video. Please subscribe to the channel, like and share, and please put a like when you watch the video. Follow me on Instagram. I am there on Instagram also, and I go on giving a lot of information there. All the important links are there in the description box. You can scan this QR code for Instagram, and this is my website. I'm putting all the important notes on the website, and I have opened a WhatsApp channel. It's okay. This is optional. You may or may not join. No problem. Okay, but please do follow Instagram. Link is given in the description box, and my website also. Again, link is given in the description box. So that's all from me for today. Thank you so much for watching the video. With love from Omni Gyan, and all the best to all of you. Thank you so much.